Welcome back to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Anime Review, episode number 41. This I'm reviewing the 34th episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind. It's also the 147th episode of the anime, Requiem Plays Quietly Part 1. This basically adapts the end of chapter 571 and goes straight to 574. This episode felt though as though it went by really quickly. Like, despite its 23-minute runtime, it felt like really quick. Like, bam, 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 bam. Like it picks it where last week's episode left off. We have Chariot Requiem just walking downstairs with the air. Like, somehow, some way, it managed to put everybody to sleep. Not only in the Coliseum, but in the immediate area. And everybody wakes up, and apparently everybody has swapped bodies. Like, Gorno has swapped bodies with Neurosia. Mista and Trish swap bodies. Baraki swaps bodies with the boss, Davito. And John Paul Barit goes into Chaco, the turtle, and his state as Mr. President. Yep. Yeah, that's basically what happens there. Yeah, of course, they had some hilarious moments, basically, where you see Trish. We think it's Trish, but it's actually Mista. She's thinking, like, what the heck's going on? It's like, he's reaching down. Yeah, touching her private part. Like, touching the private part. He's, like, touching all over the place. And it's so hilarious. The fact that she's doing Mista, as Trish is doing this. It's so hilarious. Like, what the heck is this? What my important part? He's like, it's like so hilarious. And then Misa's like, I'll kill you. It's like, how? By cursing you to death. Yeah, I thought that was so funny. And of course, Baraki is a whole episode. The person who decided the body is because really the boss. He's unconscious the whole episode. Yeah, he does not move a muscle. Somehow, I'm not sure how this is, Baraki in the body of the boss somehow gets outside the Coliseum. Of course, they also have Naraka in the body of Gorno hop on top of a pillar and see Priest's body. Yep. In the same position was left last episode. Somehow, Davito got outside the Coliseum. Which I'm kind of like, how the heck is that possible when he was sitting on top of a freaking staircase? Yep. Oh, okay. Some of you might ask this question. You've seen pictures of the Coliseum. Like, I'm curious though, why does the Coliseum look the way it does? You know, it looks like it's half completed. There is kind of an explanation for that. I've looked up basically, like I've been told exactly what exactly is the reason why the Coliseum looks the way it currently does. Is because during the Dark Ages, people needed materials to build homes, so they pretty much demolished the aqueducts that was built by the Romans, and they pretty much took pieces from the Colosseum. That's pretty much the reason why the Colosseum looks the way it does today. How do I know this? I basically have studied this in art. It was basically my humanities class. I actually asked teachers, like, why this like he told the class the reason why the Colosseum looks the way it does is because people needed materials to build homes and for everything, so they basically sort of took pieces from the Colosseum, and that's the reason why the Colosseum looks the way it does today. Though for some reason the Italian government doesn't bother to actually, they were slowly restoring it, but they've never tried to restore its original appearance. I've never understood why the heck this is. But that's a mild thing. But if anybody's curious about that, I personally have never been to Rome. So I've seen pictures of the Colosseum. I've seen in basically film footage. Never seen a thing in person. So I don't have a full experience exactly of how the Colosseum is. I personally want to go to Rome for years. It's one place I've wanted to go, but the thing is, going to Europe is expensive. Yep. But in the case of this episode, it's like, okay, Baraki shows up in Davito's body, takes out. I mean, people think it's actually the boss, but nope, it's Baraki because of his stand, Zipper Man, and he knocks off Cherry Requiem's arm which has the Arrow in it. They kind of basically also have a bit of a flashback exactly what happened after John Paul's when he lost to Davito. He also explains the boss is a duo. Yeah, he explains, but yeah, it's basically confirmed this episode. The boss has a split personality. Yep, because he's freaking nuts. That's basically what he is. Though he's also a really terrible person. And yeah, but his daughter was nothing like him at all. Despite the fact she has his hair. Yep. And then we have Baraki using Zipperman. Yep. And that's it. Oh yeah, and they explain exactly in the case of Paritz, he was John Paul. He basically went to a farming village. They passed him up basically the way he currently is with the broken eye patch. They can sort of see through the robotic legs and him being in the wheelchair and him taking away. Now apparently, this is not the first time this has happened. This also happened 2 years prior to present day, which means that the flashback took place during Diamonds Unbreakable. Yes. That's not a joke. That's when that seriously happened. So, John Parry was hiding in Rome for 2 years and never bothered to contact, I don't know, Jotaro? Yeah. I mean, he's Jotaro's best friend. Why doesn't he call him? Because, they do have cell phones at this point. Though I should point out, though, it's not like today where we use smartphones. Yeah, today we use these type of phones, smartphones. Back then it was flip phones. Yep, flip phones. That's pretty much what, I'm sure he probably had one, except that, he just never bothered to use it at all. I don't know why, but he just never did. It's particularly very weird. And he tells all this while in the body of Chakro. That's Turtle's name. Also, Trish takes away the key briefly, though the key is put back in him. And yeah. Also, the way that it happened first time is that, John Paul apparently the arrow was actually put behind a dresser. How the heck it got there, the episode doesn't bother to explain it. And he tries to reach for it, can't reach for his current body, so he has Silver Cherry reach it, gets sort of scratched by it and goes nuts. And just basically puts people to sleep and swap bodies briefly, though. Once John Paul takes away the arrow from Silver Chariot, everything goes back to normal. Yeah. But that's pretty much it when it comes to particular view. Yeah, I mean, a lot. Basically, this episode's all exposition, very little action. That's basically what this episode was. Yep, so that's it for this particular view. I have 7 more videos I wanted to do today. My next video, I might have time to do about 2 more. Yeah, my next video I'm going to do is a comic corner. Yep. And it's basically reviewing one DC trade, one Marvel trade, who happens to be the final trade of a particular writer's run on this series, okay? You'll find out what my thoughts on that soon, okay? But do see you next view. Bye.